Hi there YouTube, it's me Rachel, and today I am filming my wrap up for the 7 and 7 Readathon challenge. If I seem really excited, it's because I drank way too much iced coffee this morning, most likely. Like, I filled up this really big, it's not a sippy cup, but it's kind of like an insulated tumbler type thing that has a straw, whatever. It was like 24 ounces of iced coffee, and I drank that this morning, so I have a lot of energy. I'm also wearing my t-shirt. I went to Myrtle Beach on vacation, and that's where I got all of my reading done, mostly, for the 7 and 7 readathon. I did complete the challenge, but I'm not sure how to say I completed it, because in one way you could say I read 7 books, 1 short story, and 1 novella, or you could say that I've read 8 books altogether. So I don't know how to count it. Either way, I set out what I wanted to do. I wanted to read 7 books, and I guess I exceeded that. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to try to go in the best order that I can, and the first book I read was on my lovely Kindle. So the first book I read was The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. And I don't know if I can get you to the cover, but I'm gonna try. Here, I'll go to beginning. Oh look, here's the cover. So this is the cover of the first book, and basically it just is a young adult contemporary novel following this girl named Belly, and her real name's Isabella, or Isabel, but they just call her Belly. It's weird. And it follows her summer at a summer home with her mom and her brother, and her mom's best friend since childhood, Beck, and her 2 sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. And there is some romance, and it was a very enjoyable read, very light, and I liked it a whole lot. And then I went to Books A Million for the very first time ever, and I picked up It's Not Summer Without You, which I got for $3.97, and you can tell that I kind of like ruined the cover by taking off the sticker, and I got We'll Always Have Summer. So they were just really good. Like, I'm not going to tell you what happens in these or give you a synopsis for these, because like you need to read the first one, and then if you love it you need to go on and read the rest of the trilogy. This was so enjoyable, and I just wanted to go and be at the beach house with them, and just, I loved this. I think I gave this all 5 out of 5, which I noticed I rate contemporaries a lot differently. If it makes me smile, if I feel really happy after finishing it, then I'll give it a 5, or I feel like it's moved me a lot, I'll give it a 5 out of 5. The next book I read was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, which is totally different than the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. So this was my 4th book, and this follows an unnamed protagonist, kind of recounting events from his childhood and questioning whether or not what he's remembering is actually what happened. It was magical. It's so beautiful, and just, you need to read it now. It's so short. I think it's under, like, okay, yeah, it's under 200 pages. It's amazing. This was my first Gaiman that I've ever read. Now I want to go read everything else by him. Just, you have to pick this up. I think I also gave this 5 out of 5. So the next book I read is by the queen of contemporaries herself, in my opinion, Meg Cabot. I love Meg Cabot. I love all of her teen novels that I've read. I've read them all except for the 1-800 Where Are You series, because I could never find a copy for them. Princess Diaries series is always going to be my fave, although I really love the Mediator series, and both of those are getting a book, a 7th book and an 11th book, or like 15th or 16th book for Princess Diaries, because there's all the in-between books, whatever. But she's writing 2 more books, and they're coming out next year, and I'm so excited, and they're going to be older, and like, I just can't wait. Princess Diaries, we're getting a royal wedding. Ugh, I can't wait. Anyways, I heard Size 12 Is Not Fat, which follows the story of this woman named Heather Wells, who used to be a pop star and is dropped by her label company, and now is trying to get a job because her mom and her manager ran off with all the money she made as a pop star. So Heather has gained some weight and is very sensitive about it, which, like, size 12 is really not that, like, I don't know. Anyway, so she now has a job at a dormitory in New York. I think it's New York College or something. She's an assistant dorm director, and then a dead body is discovered, and Heather thinks that the places are missing something, so she starts to solve the mystery herself, trying to be like a Nancy Drew. I enjoyed this. I thought it was a bit predictable though, and I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, or like 4 out of 5 stars. This was nice. I have the 2nd book, so I'll probably read that, but I don't need to know what happened next right now. But yeah, this was pretty good. I liked it. Then I read Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger, which I have been trying to read forever. I started this, I think, 2 years ago, and I read Franny, the short story, and really liked it. But then with Zoe, I had a really hard time getting into it. And I found the same happened this time until I made myself keep reading for Zoe's novella. Really enjoyed this. This is about the Glass family. They're a bit dysfunctional, and it's just kind of like a peek into the two youngest of the Glass family. I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to read J.D. Salinger's short stories. Those are all I have left, the short story collections, and I believe there is one about Seymour out there that I'm very excited to read because he's talked about a lot in this. I really loved this. I gave this 5 out of 5, and it definitely is one of my favorites because I just loved it. The 7th book I read, yeah, 7th or 6th after the novella and short story. Someone tell me how to count this. So however we're counting it, the next thing I read was Jennifer E. Smith's The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. I loved this. I really, really like her writing style. This was kind of pure fluff in the best way. I love Oliver, and I really did love this. I really loved this. This was a really great contemporary, and I read it really quickly, and just, it made me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. So I really loved this, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars as well. The last book I read on our car ride home, which was a pretty long car ride, and I read it on my Kindle because I couldn't get to the rest of my books that I had in here. And I read this because I love watching She Might Be Monica's videos, and so while I was away on vacation, I decided that I would, I'm sorry, I'm looking down here and talking to you at the same time. I feel very rude. She mentioned how much she loved Shadow and Bone for July, that was her favorite, book for the month of July. So I decided, alright, I'm gonna read it. I've had it on my Kindle for a really long time, and I was like, okay, I just gotta read it. Sorry, I just wanted to get to the cover. Okay, that's right, they don't have a cover for this. It's weird. Okay, so this is Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. I loved it. 5 out of 5. I had to keep reading. I was at the edge of my seat in the car. I had forgotten about how tired I was and how much my legs hurt, and I just wanted to stretch them, and how much I really had to pee. This book was amazing. I need to get Siege and Storm right now, and I probably need to have Ruin and Rising right after that. It's really difficult for me to explain to you what it's about, but I'm going to try my best. So it follows the story of this girl whose name I don't know how to pronounce, really. I'm going to say Alina? Alina is how I'm going to say it. It's kind of how I said it in my head. And basically she was orphaned, and so has grown up as an orphan, and in her society you are tested at a young age to see if you have any magical powers, and if you do, then you are a Grisha, and they are like the top of society. And so it's her and a little boy named Mal. They grew up together, and it flashes back like to currently now, and they are both in the army and off fighting and trying to get through this place called the Fold, which was created by a guy who's a Darkling, who is like a very, very bad guy, who's a Grisha, who has the magic powers but sucks. And like, oh, I don't want to explain it because I want you to experience it the same way I did. But so I'm just going to stop there, which really sucks, and I'm really sorry, but you just need to dive into it. It's magical, it's wonderful, and it's really great fantasy. I loved it, and I think I'm going to go buy Siege and Storm right now, and maybe read my book for summer reading, because I leave for college in like less than 2 weeks, which is absolutely crazy. But it was so good. I loved it so much, and I really wanted to talk with someone about my feelings because I knew something was going to happen, and it happened, and I knew it was coming, but I was still like really hurt, and just I just have a lot of emotions over this book, but I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5. I need to buy this in a physical copy. Like, that's one thing with my Kindle where I love having the physical copies if I really love a book. So I need to do that now. It was so good. You need to go read it right now. So just go do it. Oh my god, I need to go leave a comment on Monica's video and blame her for all my feelings and thank her so much. Alright, so anyways, those were all the books I read for the 7 and 7 readathon. I loved doing the readathon. I don't know if I'll be able to participate in the future for any more readathons. I am going into college as an English major and I'm taking like all English classes because I swear that was all that was available. So these are the 7 books, 1 short story, 1 novella, or 8 books that I read. And I love them all. They were really great. I didn't have any disappointing reads, and just, it was a very lovely vacation reading in the sand on the beach. And just, I definitely think Shadow and Bone was my favorite. Just so good. Alright, so I'm going to go. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!